Notice the acid test of materialism is not how much I have or don't have, but my preoccupation and concern over it. Did you get that? No. Okay, then I'll say it again. That was really a rhetorical question of which I was looking for no answer, but since we're a kind of family, this is good. The acid test of materialism is not how much I have or don't have, but my preoccupation and concern over it. I can be preoccupied and concerned over all the tons of stuff that I do have, or I can be preoccupied and concerned of what I don't have and what I need. Either way, it's materialism. The explanation, he says, stop your preoccupation with material things. Why? Look at verse 25. He says, because it's short-sighted. He says, don't worry about your life, what you're going to eat, what you're going to drink. He said, there's more to life than things. And his motive here is to protect us and our well-being. Material things are unable to meet the deepest needs of your life. If your kids get in Harvard, if they have a 1,500 on their SAT, if they have beautiful little grandkids, if they get a great job, if they drive a BMW, have a wonderful house, an amazing driveway, and you can invite all your friends and show pictures to everyone, if they go into the ministry, if that's what you, and some even go on the mission fields, and you finally have your nest egg, if your 401k is protected from all the subprime mortgage, and everything is perfect, I will tell you, you will sit as a desperately lonely person thinking, what happened? You mean that didn't do it? No, and never will. That's the lie. That's the enemy. That's a God. Now, as you walk with him, here's what I'll tell you. He may let your kids get into Harvard. Thank him. If they got 1,500 on their SAT, I'd ask them for counsel personally. If he supplies you with beautiful grandchildren and children and blesses you financially, what you'll find out, if you're there, is that it's more of an overwhelming stewardship of what to do with all that money than it is what you thought it would be like, we finally made it. Because the more you have, the better the maturity and the faith that it requires. And so he says, don't buy into materialism because it is short-sighted. Look. Second, he says it's illogical. His application, look at the birds, look at the flowers. I mean, aren't you more important than them? Yes. So it's that classical argument. He says, look, it's short-sighted, it's impractical. At the end of the day, what is it that really matters? What has value? If you wrote down the top 5 memories in your life, what would you write down? Let me get you started. Wedding day, birth of a child, birth of a grandchild, a deep friendship, times with your family, recovery from cancer. How many of those are material? Have you ever gone to, after the funeral, I've done lots of them, and you go to someone's house, hang out, have a little food, and you talk kind of about the person? Have any one of you gone to one of those, and people getting little tables, and all the people have made nice little food, and have you ever been to one of those, and maybe a group of guys sort of in the corner? Did that guy have a nice car or what? I mean, if I had a 401k, in fact, he had a 501(c)(3), a 401k, he was capital B. He was 32 on Forbes' list. Man, did he look good, Dad. Whew, man. Did you understand? Did you know that? I've never heard that. The only thing we talk about when people are gone is what? Either how they modeled their relationship and love for God and what they did in their relationships. Period. And the saddest funerals I've ever been to have been with the kids who knew the inside story. And in funerals, people are the biggest liars at funerals. Oh, my lands, Oh, Bob, he was da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and the kids are going, He wasn't home, he was a jerk, he had anger management issues, he never talked to me, But I will tell you, when someone has lived well and died well, actually, as hard as it is to let go, it's sweet time. Man, it's sweet when you see life. And you know what? Jesus said, that's I'm trying to protect you. I mean, some of you, if you could just relax, you relax and seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, he might scare you and just make you rich. And some of you will wish later that he hadn't. But he just says, don't buy the lie. This is really about a lie. He says it's unprofitable, verse 27, right? Can you add a single day by worrying or being preoccupied by material things? All it produces is ulcers and migraines and dysfunctional families and sleeplessness. It's disgraceful. He says the pagans run after this. When Christians live frantic, preoccupied lives thinking that all those things and what they can accomplish, we don't look any different than the world. That little tract that we give them, hey, why don't you come to our church? We have 11 activities every week. Your life can get as busy as ours. But we're doing it for Jesus. The promise, if you will pursue knowing Christ and making him known, verse 33, as your first priority, he will meet all your material needs. Run, seek, pursue after Christ, knowing him and serving him, and let him tell you what to do with your time. Let him tell you which relationships to be in and which ones to get out of. I mean, it's kind of funny, and I'm poking fun because I find when I say really hard things, if we poke fun, it's better to laugh now and then cry privately. Because some of you, if you start cleaning your relational network and cleaning your calendar and cleaning your garage and getting stuff out of storage, by the way, well, why do we need all this storage? Do you realize 30 years ago that wasn't even an industry? Why do we have all these garage sales? Because I got to get new stuff I don't need to impress people who don't care, and I put it in the garage, and I can't fit it in the garage, and then I try and sell it, and that's a hassle, and I try to eBay, but I don't know about that. And so I start, but you don't want to lose it, so you start, cool. It's got to be temperature controlled, and I put it in storage, and we got stuff, and then 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 we got stuff. Guess what? You know what your life is? Full of stuff. It is stuff that ruins your relationship with Christ. Stuff is the spider. And stuff can't deliver. Make him, run after him. Invest in people. Invest in God. And use things and money to extend love. And God says, I will tell you what. I'll work out a way that we can get those kids through school. And, those house payments, we can work those out. I'll help you with those. And use your brains, be wise, make the good investments. I came across an article I want to close with because this really is a warning. And I put some questions on the end that I would really encourage you to privately consider. They're not ones we can do together. Are you spending your life or investing it? What relationships? Where are you materialistic? I mean, you are, I am. Jesus knew. He's not talking to the Pharisees. He's talking to the guys. He's talking to his closest, most committed followers, saying, this is what will kill you. And if you don't think it's alive and well today, what I want you to get from this it's a USA Today article. All I want you to hear is I want the Spirit of God to baptize what we just heard with a sense of urgency, that I can't take these notes and this little time together in this group about priorities and balancing life and stick it somewhere and just go on and keep living the way. I want you to understand what I'm going to read physically is true of you and me today spiritually. It's an article about California cover story. When Jim Smallridge went to bed at his parents' house in rural San Diego County late Saturday, he wasn't concerned about wildfires. They were ravaging the Cleveland National Forest 15 miles away, a distant glow in the night. He awoke a few hours later to find flames in his parents' front yard. It was honest like that, he said. Chasing us, says Smallridge, 42 years old. I knew that if we didn't get out in a matter of minutes, we'd be dead. Minutes, it turned out, were all the residents of Lakeside had. After frantically knocking on neighbors' doors, Smallridge managed to escape with his son, Sean, 18, by driving their pickup truck through a 200-foot wide wall of flame that blocked the only road out of the neighborhood. Now, imagine that. It's here. We got to go. Tell the neighbors. So he tells the neighbors, son, get in the truck. And who knows what's on the other side of it. They come through the flames. Others weren't quick enough, Smallridge recalls. They disregarded his frantic warnings, or they responded too casually. Several wanted to save their televisions and computers. They looked like they were packing for a trip, he said. The ones who listened to me and left the area immediately lived. The ones who didn't died. Feels a little bit like God speaking through Moses. I put before you today a blessing and a curse. Choose life.
As we close our time together, it has been an incredible privilege to get to spend this time with you. And a verse comes to my mind that summarizes all we've learned, especially in the last couple sessions. The Apostle Paul said this, "Instruct those that are rich in this present world not to be conceited or fix their hope on the uncertainty of riches, but on God, who richly supplies us with all things to enjoy." It's 1 Timothy 6:19, and it might be a verse well worth memorizing and keeping in balance the issue of materialism. I find some people that, they kind of blow this one off and, oh, that's not really me. And then I find other people that start feeling guilty for the blessings of God. That verse says two things that are very important. Don't fix your mind and heart on money because it's transitory. It's here today, it's gone tomorrow. It can't hold you up. There can only be one God, one source, one King. But it also says, but on God who richly gives you all things to enjoy. It's learning to be radically sacrificial over here, learning to enjoy every good thing that God gives you. And so my encouragement for you is, what's it going to look like for you personally and for your group to keep seeking first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, knowing that if you do that, if you balance your life, if you get your biblical priorities in the busyness that you live in, you seek first Him, your time, your money, your relationships, back to where we started, He will supply all that you need. I mean, it is the life, he goes on to say in that passage, that is truly life. There's such great hope. I'm so encouraged for you. And here's the one question I want you to begin with. What do you need to do personally to take what we've learned about balancing life's demands and make it not a series that you studied, but a lifestyle that you practice? What are you going to do in the next 3 weeks, the next 3 months, the next year, where what we're talking about now really becomes reality? So let's discuss it. Let's get it on the table. Let's help each other. Let's grow.